Maria Montessori was born on August 31st in 1870 in Chiaravalle, Italy. Maria Montessori came from a well-educated family, her mother, Renilda Stoppani, and her father, Alessandro Montessori. Maria Montessori spent most of her childhood in Ancona, but moved to Rome when she was 12 years old. Maria Montessori had a strong passion for mathematics, and so her parents encouraged her to become a teacher, mostly because teaching was one of the few jobs available for women. Maria Montessori, however, did not want to be a teacher. Instead, she wanted to study engineering. Maria Montessori went to study engineering at an all-boys school, but she then decided she wanted to study biology to become a physician. Maria Montessori attended medical school, and being the only woman, she faced a lot of hardships, such as being made fun of by other classmates, almost causing her to give up. Maria Montessori became the first female physician in Rome. She then became an assistant doctor at the psychiatric clinic in the University of Rome. She would frequent the asylum for the insane and observe the children. After noticing the lack of materials for the children in the asylum, Maria Montessori decided to observe and study them. Maria Montessori spent time observing the children and experimenting with different ways of teaching. She created materials and a method for them and was successful in teaching them. In 1900, Maria Montessori became a co-director of a new institute for training teachers in special education. There she observed and reflected her findings and developed a method to teach these children. She had developed materials and an environment that gave these children success. In 1907, Maria Montessori opened a new school in the inner city of Rome for poor children. Maria Montessori implemented her method and saw great results. Maria Montessori gained recognition around the world due to her method, and by 1910, there were Montessori schools around Rome.
This is Irma Bonilla. I will be talking about Montessori method and what is the difference between Montessori and traditional education. Dr. Maria Montessori based her philosophy and method on a deep understanding of a respect for children. The basis of the Montessori philosophy of education is that all children carry unseen within them the person they will become. To develop their unique potential, they must have freedom. Freedom to explore, freedom to be creative, freedom to choose. This freedom is achieved through order and self-discipline. The Montessori methods provide a pleasing environment with carefully devised material that meet the child's natural needs and, of course, nurture his or her absorbing mind. The Montessori teaching method is a sensible balance between freedom and structure specifically designed for a young child in a nursery or a school environment. The differences between Montessori method and traditional education. Montessori emphasized learning through all 5 senses, not just through listening, watching, or reading. Children in Montessori classes learn at their own individual pace and according to their own choice of activities from hundreds of possibilities. Learning is an exciting process of discovery, leading to concentration, motivation, self-discipline, and a love of learning. In Montessori education, the teacher teaches to the individual instead of the group. The teacher can address the specific need of a child. In traditional education, lessons are presented to the whole class and sometimes to a small group. In Montessori education, children learn by practicing. For example, when they learn about shapes, circle, square, they draw them. The children trace real figures and make design. In traditional education, children learn by listening to the teacher. The teacher usually speaks in front of the class and children listen. In Montessori, the directress provides material that allows the child to self-correct. Children can identify on error from feedback from the educational material. In traditional education, teachers identify error and tell the children how to correct it.
My name is Jamila Muhammad, and I will be talking about the role of the directress as described by Maria Montessori. In the Montessori method, the teacher is often referred to as the directress or guide, since she is there to assist the child in learning and takes on a more passive role than traditional teachers. A Montessori teacher's primary responsibility is to create and maintain a carefully prepared environment with developmentally useful and appropriate activities. The directress should be constantly checking for dust, missing or broken items, in addition to rotating materials based on the student's interest and progress. The materials should be placed low on shelves so that children are independent in choosing and returning materials. A well-designed and maintained Montessori classroom is a delight even for adults to observe. Observation is one of the most important principles in the Montessori method. Dr. Montessori believed that the directress should be a scientific observer, watching the children to see when they might need to graduate to a more challenging exercise, or when one student might be disrupting other students, or when a student might need help. However, according to Dr. Montessori, interventions should be as few as possible. Children are in a vulnerable state when learning, and they should be left to carry out this process with little interference. Dr. Montessori encouraged teachers to be a silent and graceful presence in the classroom. The directress should become almost invisible, but in a natural and unforced manner. The directress is advised to speak with a pleasant, low voice, close to a whisper. Even when a child calls out to the teacher, the directress should walk over to the student instead of shouting across the room. Since the teacher serves as a model for the children, when she moves fluidly about the classroom, careful not to knock over furniture, or places items gently on the table, the children will follow her lead.
I'm going to talk about the principles of the Montessori prepared environment. Montessori prepared environment offers child an opportunity to use to fully develop the whole personality through development of the approach. 6 general principles of Montessori environment. First is freedom. In Montessori environment, it allows the children to move freely around the classroom with a purpose. The child has also the freedom to play and work with others without interruption, unless the child or the children display undesirable behavior. The teacher will step in for redirecting their behavior. The child has also the freedom to explore and discover and how to work on with the materials on their own, meaning that the child has the freedom to practice and experiment with the materials without limitation only after the presentation of the teacher. The child has also the freedom to make decision of their own in choosing the activity. The child has also the freedom to express their needs or emotions. Second, structure and order. In a prepared environment, the structure and order of the classroom help the child develop self-discipline. In a way that the child develops their inner understanding of the cycle of the activity in the classroom. Let's say, for instance, the child knows where to get and put the activity back. A child knows how to clean after himself or herself. A child knows how to use her own space during work time. Because of the structure and order of the classroom, the child has also the opportunity to accumulate what is there within the environment that not unhit or stage of development. The third principle is beauty. The beauty in the prepared environment shows unity, love, concern, and cooperation among children, which means that the environment is beautiful when children are work together in harmony, or when the children take their part in a most meaningful way. The beauty in the classroom is when the materials are well organized in types of each other, meaning that if the material shows the order of the concept for each stage of development for each individual child, or from the simple to complex, and from concepts to abstract, following towards every child's age and ability, for its nature and reality. In this classroom, the nature and reality of the environment shows that the furniture and shorts are adapt. The child thrives because children don't seek so much trust from the adults instead. Children gain independence. Social environment. In the social environment, children are encouraged to share love and understanding for each other and learn to interact with each other. In a Montessori environment, children mixed group age grouping, so children are encouraged to show love and understanding and to interact in small and big groups to promote future team. When children come to understanding for each other, it makes them feel the sense of belongingness. Also, the older children will see a great example for the younger children to learn. Finally, intellectual environment. In this intellectual environment, there is low spiritual as a whole human being academically and intellectually. In all above mentioned principles, and child is ready to take responsibility to become a better person. So the director will slowly redirect him or her to the different areas of Montessori curriculum to become an independent learner.
This is the 3-period lesson. Number 1, naming means this is. Number 2, recognizing means show me. And number 3, recall means what is this? This is the 3-period lesson in Montessori. Hello, this is Marina Inocencio. I would like to introduce to you the 3-period lesson. And it's about the color box 2. I'm gonna show the 3-period of lesson. Is anybody wants to join me? Oh, you wanna join me? This is a color, they call it color tablet. This is blue. This is red. Show me red. Show me blue. What is this? Blue. What is this? Red. Would you like to try?
How do you work at this, Ate?